Hey there, glad you're with us. I'm Dustin Grove, and we begin with an update about a bill in the State House that involves teaching kids about human sexuality. This bill has really become a debate about what students should be taught in school when it comes to sex. At the center of this debate is the issue of consent. Some lawmakers think if kids are learning about sex in school, they should be required to also learn about their right to say yes or no to it. But that consent language had been taken out of the bill. Well, we can tell you as of today, it is now back in. Senate Bill 442's author said in a statement this morning, we'll put it on the screen here, this would require schools to teach about the importance of consent to sexual activity in an age-appropriate way and teach about fetal development during pregnancy. Senator Byrne went on to say, I look forward to shepherding this bill through the rest of the legislative process. Also in that bill, school boards would be required to approve the curriculum, which must include showing students a video of an ultrasound during pregnancy to show human development. Our Emily Longnecker is working this story. We'll have much more on that coming up later today on 13 News starting at 4. Now to a developing story from Lawrence. That's where police are investigating a deadly shooting this morning. We first told you about this as breaking news on 13 Sunrise. It happened around 3:30 a.m. on Vernon Avenue. That's near East 46th and North Franklin Road. Police tell us they found a man dead who'd been shot. We know a person of interest was detained at the scene. Right now we're working to find out what led to that shooting. Of course, we'll let you know as soon as we find out. The family of a 62-year-old man is searching for answers after he was shot and killed on the southwest side last week. Our Logan Gay spoke with the family, who says they are shocked and demanding justice.
Emotions are high for Joseph Grant and his siblings as they deal with the tragic death of their father, Forrest Grant.
As far as planning a funeral right now, that's one of the hardest things I've ever done. You know, it's very hard. I got 4 emotional sisters to deal with.
Joseph lives in Las Vegas and his sisters live in different cities across the country. But his father, Forrest, lived right here in Indy. Last Thursday, police found him behind a bus stop with gunshot wounds, and he was taken to the hospital and later died.
Why? That's what was going through my mind. Why this happened? He's 62 years old. You don't normally get these kind of calls about elderly people.
Joseph says people claiming to be witnesses reached out to him, saying Forrest got in the middle of an argument before he was shot. We're now working to confirm that with police. But no matter what happened, Joseph says his father didn't deserve to be killed.
He knew what was right and wrong, and he always tried to do the right thing. You know, each person has their own downfalls at times, but Forrest had Grant knew what was right and wrong, and told us to stand up for that our whole lives. You know, I'm thankful for that.
13 News is working to find out about any arrests in the case. At the time of the shooting, police detained a person near the scene, but the person's involvement, if any, has not been determined. Joseph says an arrest and getting answers would mean a lot to the family.
I need to know that. It's part of my closure process. It's important that we find out exactly what happened, but I know my dad, and I know he was the good guy in this situation.
Until they do get those answers, Joseph and his siblings are focusing on honoring his life.
His ability to talk to anyone about anything and get a smile, his advice was bar none stellar. Nobody had better advice than my dad.
That was Logan Gay reporting. We did reach out to Metro Police about any updates on the case. We've not heard back yet. We'll continue to update this story, though, here on 13 News and online at WTHR.com. Now here's Sean with a first look at our forecast on this Wednesday afternoon. Hey, Sean.
Yeah, thank you, Dustin here. Temperatures already equaling where we peaked yesterday in the lower 70s. Sunshine around central Indiana and temperatures warming quickly as expected here, and we'll enjoy another sunny afternoon around central Indiana. Looks great. You see there in Carmel and Noblesville, Morris, Crawfordsville. It is warming up. Very pleasant conditions here as we look south down Meridian. 72, calm wind, and a 45-degree dew point. That is just perfect weather here for late April, and we'll tack on almost another 10 degrees to what you're seeing on the map here. 70 in Newcastle, 73 in Shelbyville, 70 Terre Haute, and not a cloud around generally. Compared to 24 hours ago, We're roughly about 10 degrees ahead of that pace. So we're going to peak around 80 degrees here this afternoon. And as expected, a couple of sprinkles, light showers way to the north. Doesn't impact our viewing area. So we're going to see nice warm conditions. Those storms back to the west generally will stay there until later this week. I'll have more on that. Planner for your evening, your sunset's a little after 8:30. Get out there and please enjoy. It's going to be warm, but it's going to be comfortable as well. Have more on those storm chances ahead.
All right, Sean, thank you. This afternoon, we are learning about a disturbing rise in the number of cases of anti-Semitism here in Indiana. New numbers from the Anti-Defamation League show that in Indiana last year, there were 142 reported incidents of harassment, vandalism, and violence against the Jewish community. That's up 141% from the year before. And listen to this, it's up more than 700% from just 5 years ago.
Sadly, the trend we're seeing in Indiana mirrors what we're also seeing in the Midwest and around the country. The larger story, though, is the Jewish community is being targeted with hate in ways that we have not experienced in generations.
The Anti-Defamation League has been tracking incidents for 46 years, both criminal and non-criminal. Last year's numbers were the highest ever recorded. A former Brownsburg elementary teacher will not spend time in jail after taking a plea deal for neglect of a student. Sarah Seymour was sentenced for her role in forcing a student in the life skills program to eat his own vomit a little more than 2 years ago. Seymour was set to go on trial next week. Instead, she pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor neglect charge. As part of the plea, the failure to make a report charge was dismissed. However, the judge sentenced Seymour to 365 days in jail for neglect of a dependent. She got credit for 2 of those days, and the other 363 were suspended. The judge also fined her $1. The incident involving a student who was 7 at the time happened at Brown Elementary. The prosecutor charged several other people for their suspected involvement as well. Another teacher in the case pleaded guilty. An instructional aide, Deborah Knipe, is also charged in this case. She's scheduled to go on trial at the end of June. A Howard County murder case was just dismissed because of a, quote, staffing crisis at the prosecutor's office. We just got the court documents granting the motion to dismiss the case against Kevin Maddox. He was arrested in 2023 in connection to a 2006 deadly shooting in Kokomo. The office says the prosecutor's office just wrapped up a trial and has another starting this month. The court documents call the staffing issues in the office significant and ongoing, and they claim that they hinder the prosecutor's ability to prepare for major jury trials so close together. The motion allows prosecutors to refile the charges in the future.